Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Charmaine.
Morning.
How are you? And good
Thank
morning,
you.
superstars. I have to throw that in. I just love that whole feeling of a superstar.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the Karen House Show, Series 16, which means week 16. And we're going to touch on about I am worthy. And yes, you are worthy. And how much value do you place on yourself? So I am worthy. Do you catch yourself saying, I could never be good or beautiful. I don't deserve happiness. No one will ever love me. I'm always broke. I'll never be rich, whatever I do. It's never good enough. What will people think?
Very common.
Blah, 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 so on. Sorry, I don't mean to talk that down, but we've all been there. We've all experienced it. I don't think anybody could say they haven't.
Yeah.
These are generally statements from what we've heard or experienced or believed to be true. Those what's going on, our story, are statements that we've heard or believed to be true. We've assessed them, we've put meaning to them, and then we've hung on to them. So recently I had a conversation with a colleague of mine, and Charmaine, you'll confirm this. Your subconscious, all its intention is to allow you to survive so you don't die. So we assess the situation, we add meaning to it, and then we put it over here because that's what's going to keep us alive.
Yeah.
That's all your subconscious wants to do, is keep you alive. So, we have these triggers that come up and emotional situations that present themselves. It's an opportunity for us to decide whether we want to keep them or let them go and replace them with something that's going to be more useful. So I'm Karen Howe. For those that don't know me, I'm writer, author, speaker on how to reclaim your life, giving people a voice to enable them rather than left feeling disabled. Charmaine, I'll let you introduce yourself.
And I'm Charmaine Livingston. I'm a feng shui consultant. My work is soul frequency feng shui. I do earth and soul alignments, helping people, families, and businesses who are feeling stuck and unwell to restore flow and balance from identifying blockages in their lives as well. I say life's a puzzle and the code is your home.
Yes. Yes, and she uncoded our home, that's for sure. So it is a nice feeling to live in a home that you just feel it's just so much peace around us. It's amazing.
Flow,
so Charmaine, touching on, we were talking before we came on live about how powerful our thoughts are.
Yeah, we know thoughts and words are very powerful. We've spoken about this before. And when a thought is spoken or believed about ourselves with the emotion attached behind it, such as I'm not good enough, we then put in motion this becoming our reality. So what we think and believe becomes true. So the sadness and the disappointment, the rejection, frustration, etc. If that's what we're thinking and all the time with the belief that it's true, that will become our reality in the day. So how do we change our world and our reality? Like, how do we change our day from always being blocked and frustrated? And the answer is by changing our beliefs and our words and our thoughts about ourselves. Like, this is key. So sometimes we might think that we love ourselves, but the words and emotions, our words and emotions tell otherwise. So we may think that we really love ourselves, but we go, oh, I'm so stupid, or I'm so, when we say those things, we're unconsciously blocking our dreams from manifesting into our lives, and we don't even know it.
It's a hard one to crack though, isn't it? It's that cracking that code.
Yeah.
It's not easy, and that's where it takes the work.
Yeah. So we can identify when we're doing this, but when we catch ourselves saying those things, they just say, oh, whatever I do, it's never enough. So right there, you're saying to yourself, you're not enough. And even it's just a comment and it's a feeling and emotion, but that's your key. That's where you can tell that you've got some unconscious conditioning there that's blocking you, and you can use that to work on yourself.
I remember my dad actually for years, and this came up just recently for me. He used to always refer to himself as I am dumb, I'm stupid. He was a left-handed writer, which I am, and he was forced in his day to write with his right hand. So he never wrote neatly, and he wanted to, and it just caused him a whole lot of grief through his life. So he kept saying, I am dumb, often enough that me as a child would do the same, because I'd be going, you're saying you're dumb. What does that mean? I am dumb. What does it mean? I am dumb. And I'm going through it and adding meaning to it. Correct, because it must be, it's coming from dad, I am dumb. So then we add meaning to it, and that's what we store inside of ourselves, even though it didn't come from me, it came from my father, how he felt about himself.
This conditioning in the old days, the not knowing, instead of telling left-handed children that they are super intelligent, they're actually thinking with the other side of their brain, which makes them very smart. A left-handed person, extremely intelligent. But back in the day, they were told that's wrong and forced them to write with their right hand, telling them that they're stupid, when in actual fact, they don't even know that it's because they're super intelligent. So it's just what they were told. They're conditioning their beliefs. He was told that at school. So then he says, I'm dumb, and he just carries it on.
And then it carries on through to the, children, and just somewhere at some point, you stop and say, I am Karen.
Yeah.
So I am dumb is not useful.
No. And being left-handed, like, am I dumb? Is writing with my left hand being dumb? And
who says it is? That's right.
That's right. No, it's not. That's the story. That's just social conditioning.
Social conditioning. Yes, exactly. So they're the sorts of things that we want to change within ourselves, that we're able to change within ourselves. That's not going outside of the law or changing things that, you might think, well, that's wrong, because then, I'll be different to that next person, or what would that person think? It's okay, because that person's not going to think anything. Not going to think anything. They don't care what you're saying, doing. And I mean that with compassion. Care. They're not interested.
Yeah. Well, it's just a judgment if it is. Yeah. And what we're talking about last week, say, so what? I'm going to write with my left hand. I'm good with my left hand, and I'm going to do it. You can call me dumb, but that's just not true.
Yeah, I know
it's a lot of work to get to. Yeah.
I know that not to be true.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that to not be true. So we can after identifying this negative self-talk about ourselves, this is finding out where we might have blocks, and from the social conditioning that we were talking about, and then we can consciously flip the switch, like we were just talking about, and rewire our programming. So instead of when you catch yourself saying I'm dumb, we might think that we make bad choices sometimes, but you can say, well, that was a bad choice, and you can reflect on that later at night. But you don't say you wouldn't want to say I am dumb, because remember the I am series, I am puts it into motion, it makes it so you can reflect and say, I made a bad choice back there, but that's the program. That's how you flip the switch. So you change it from I am dumb to I may have made a bad choice, but I am working on that, or I'm not dumb, I'm left-handed. I'm left-handed. That's super intelligent.
I am intelligent.
Yeah, that's flipping the switch. Yeah, I'm doing it. It
takes a lot of work to get there, but it's knowing that you can just have a clean slate and start again. Life's a game. We can change things at any point in time. And
starting small, just with little things. Just go, oh, that was so stupid, or I'm so dumb. Say, oh, look at me, I'm so ugly. Say, I'm beautiful, I'm worth it. Like, just, even if you don't 100% believe what you're saying in the beginning, change the words, and eventually your mind will begin to believe it. Yeah. So every time you think that you're ugly, you go, no, I'm good enough, I'm awesome. And eventually you can rewire those thoughts.
And it does, what helps actually, and we'll finish off with a list of these statements, is that you write them down, or, you can use our statements that we provide today, but use that list. And you might cough, and you might feel a lump in your throat because you'll be choking on these words that you don't believe. That's true. That is, I've seen it happen. Yeah. I've just literally seen it physically happen. And and then also, as Charmaine mentioned, starting with something small. If you're in traffic, you're running late for an appointment, just speed dial and say, I'm going to be late for my appointment. Don't race, don't get cranky, don't curse the lights or the person in front of you, or because all it's doing is impacting you
Yeah.
to the end of it, and you're completely stressed, and you've then stored all this inside of you. That's something that takes a bit to shift.
Yeah.
So it's best to go, I'm stuck in traffic. Why? Possibly because there's an accident up ahead. There's somebody in a much worse situation than me right now.
Yeah. So even if you can't get the words out, so you're in traffic and so coming back to worthiness, I guess. So if you're angry, you're feeling frustrated, or you're feeling offended or whatever, if you can't in the moment say I am good enough, and you're choking, you can't actually say it. You can kind of say I'm choosing love over fear. Like in this situation, I'm going to choose love. I'm going to choose love. And a way to look at that is maybe there is an accident ahead. Because the fear response is, oh, I'm getting so angry and frustrated, I'm going to be late, my boss is going to get angry at me, rah, rah, rah. That's the fear. But you can just say, I choose love. I choose love in this situation. Even if you can't get the words out that I'm worthy, I'm good enough, it doesn't matter if I'm late, because that can be hard in the moment with the emotions. But you just say, I choose love in this moment instead of fear, because you're coming from a fear-based response. When you get frustrated, when you get angry, when you think you're ugly, when you think you're late, when you think you're not good enough, that's it's a fear-based conditioning.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. So changing that state through reprogramming or rewiring, and just changing the way we think and words we say and how we feel and how those words make us feel.
Yeah.
It's all about how we feel. Do you know, it's interesting, Charmaine, when we're born, there's only two things that a baby is concerned with. And do you know what those two things are? I've just got to actually reflect now. So the two things are loud noises and being dropped. Something so basic. You think, all this we carry on with fear and da 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 da. But I mean, there's obviously fear around those two things. So the loud noises, and a baby will cry at a loud noise, or
even while it's in your stomach. I mean, it won't cry, but you'll jump.
Yeah, it'll jump. Yeah, generally jump. That's right. So, and then it's just how we respond to that. So then they start learning. So if you were to put a baby in front of a tiger, it's not doing anything. I'm not talking about a tiger that's going to pounce and eat this baby. It just sit it in front of a tiger. It won't respond. If it roars, it will respond. Whereas us as humans, we see a tiger, we get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
So it's that whole thing about, it's just a really hard concept to grasp. And it's no different to, and another example that was used about a rabbit. A rabbit could be seen as a tiger if we respond the same to the rabbit as we do the tiger. It's because how we're responding. So if we think about that tiger's going to, big teeth and is going to claw us, and we run from this rabbit, that's a little ball of fluff that, is really not going to harm us.
Yeah.
The baby will grow up thinking the rabbit is scary. And here's another thing. You walk into a birthday party and your noises are your thing, right? The balloon, back it up a bit. You walk into a birthday party, you trip over, you hit your chin, it bleeds, and you feel this pain. All of a sudden you have this aversion to going to birthday parties or to anything around that occasion. So that's just how we can immediately set ourselves up and add meaning to it. And that's, to save our lives, we'll just stay away.
That's why, because the pain is a cellular memory. So that's why way back in the old days, people would hit their children. So hitting causes pain, and yelling causes like a cellular memory, like yelling or loud noises. So a baby would crawl out onto a road, but it won't be frightened of it until their mum yells, "Get away from the road! What are you doing?" And then the yelling sinks into their cellular memory. Or if someone doesn't want their child to do something, they'll say, "No, you don't do this," and then they'll smack them, and then the memory of what they were doing with the pain sinks into their cellular memory, and that's how it's conditioning for the rest of their lives, because the pain actually is cellular, and that's how it sticks.
It's so incredible.
Yeah.
So that leads into my experience. I started giving you a little bit just in with that bunny rabbit and tiger story. But one of my colleagues, I went to visit him yesterday. He's a hypnotherapist, Charmaine. Amazing experience. And my takeaway, you can never know everything, and you don't want to ever do that. You know, you want to know that you're constantly learning and constantly building towards being, you know, in a position where you don't feel stuck. And if you want to do something, yeah, just go and do it, not thinking, how do I do that? How can I have that? Those sorts of things. So this is where I'm at. And now,
rabbit hole.
yeah, exactly. Go down that rabbit hole. Yeah, with the rabbit.
Yeah, keep going down that rabbit hole. Keep going.
So I just keep going down that rabbit hole. Yes, so who knows? So for me, you know, I'm the chairperson with Fun Farms and, you know, leading, and I needed to work on my leadership. I knew I needed to. I was afraid of what that might look like, afraid of failure, afraid of just not being able to have the, I guess, the being able to articulate myself, or, you know, just to be able to show up as a leader, right? Which is my next level. So taking that next leap of faith, right? So the definite statements that we were talking about, where we've already set ourselves up. So we've assessed the situation, and this is throughout our childhood, assessed it, then and as a baby, you don't have any of this. And then you get to toddler and you start then hearing and seeing, experiencing things you've already assessed.
Getting smacked.
Yeah, like I'm dumb, I got from my dad, I'm dumb, I'm, you know, I'm not worthy. So this was all his language. So then I've gone, what does that mean? What does that mean? So I've assessed it, I've put it into this meaning basket, because that means it will save my life. You know, so it's in the save my life, which is in our subconscious. Right, Charmaine? Yeah, so these definite statements. Now, Charmaine, one of the things that came up, if I said to you, will the sun rise tomorrow? What would your response be?
Yeah, most people, yeah, you probably.
Very good, because this is the key. We go yes because we've made some assumptions based on our life.
What we've learned is that it does come up.
And yeah, and now most things like the sun coming up, it's actually quite useful. So I guess what I'm going to allude to here is that there are things that are not useful. So if somebody says a statement, if somebody says a statement, because that's where all the energy goes, right, with these things that are not useful, and these are things that keep us stuck. So if somebody says a statement, instead of us saying yes as a real definite, why do we not say probably? Replace it with probably. So this is my homework this week, Charmaine. I'm going to drive my family nuts.
Yeah.
Probably. What does that mean?
Not a yes or a no, it's probably.
I'm then now rewiring the way I think about my beliefs. So there are beliefs inside of me that then I can replace with more useful beliefs. So the ones that are not useful, I can let go of. And this was what we covered off in our last session, Charmaine. I just can't believe how things are flowing on.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm still surprised, but anyway. So the last session we talked about, instead of doing, we need to spend more time undoing. So I'm going to be undoing the beliefs that are no longer useful to me. And that's pretty cool. And I'm so excited about that, because then I know that's going to move me forward, because I'm going to create more space in my life for useful things. Yep. So that's what I'm working with. Now I'm just going to rattle around in my drawer, one I prepared earlier. So what do you see here, Charmaine?
A pen.
Okay. Now this is getting back to, okay, so I've just switched it up a bit there. So we've gone through the, working on our definite statements, the things that we've heard, believe, whatever it is, and we've set ourselves up and undo. Value. So now this is about value, because I was all about I'm not worthy, right? And I'm stupid, I'm dumb, because these are things I heard from my father, right? I know that now. I know I'm worthy, and I'm not stupid, I'm not dumb. But so this pen, if we're talking about value, would you see value in this pen, Charmaine? Or do you see value in this pen?
Yeah, well, we see a pen for writing.
Yep. What if I took the ink out of this pen? Do you still see the value in this pen?
Probably.
Well, I got to tell you what came out of it. I said immediately, set myself up. I said I'd just throw it in the top drawer and get another pen. So I didn't add value to it. I didn't see the value in it. However, then we go on to say you could dig a hole in the ground, put some seeds in the ground. You can actually do a tracheotomy. Not that I'd do that to anybody, but that's what pens have been used for. So do you now see value in that pen with or without the ink?
Yeah, without the ink, it's still valuable. It's still a pointy object. It's still a straw. It's still lots of things. It's still something.
I just want to break down and cry with that, because that's my epiphany
Yeah.
of my own value myself.
Yeah.
That is bringing so much emotion to the surface because it's something like we don't stop and think about it. We just replace it. Because
it's nothing now. If you're not a doctor or a lawyer, you're nothing, but you are.
Yeah. And that was my whole thing. I don't have that piece of paper. Why am I getting to do what I'm doing?
Yeah. Who are you to say you're an empty pen, but you're huge, you're something. Save that empty pen, save someone's life.
Yeah. So it was all then, this is my second piece of homework, is to go away, and every time I do something, I look at the value in it. Even if it's a glass of wine, instead of saying this is a bit naughty having a glass of wine at lunchtime, I say I'm having this glass of wine because I can sit and look at this view out here. I can take time out for me. I can feel relaxed because there may be a bit of warm and fuzzy feeling this wine's going to give me after I've been doing this bit of a stressful morning, or so then I see the value in it.
Yeah.
But as soon as I say this is naughty, maybe wrong time of the day, and what will people think, then I take the value out of it.
And you make it true. So if you believe this wine is good for me, it will be. It will bring insight. It will relax you and everything. If you, every time you have a glass of wine, go, oh, is this causing cancer? Is this a bad thing? You will make that your reality too. So,
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So it was a massive day. I slept really well last night, and I woke up this morning thinking, oh, I want to revisit our session today. And so because I'd set myself up and believed I was ugly, I couldn't look in the mirror. I'd whiz past the mirror and just, I'd pull a face to kind of create something for myself to make me appear attractive. I had no idea what I was doing. But who decided this? It was me. I decided I was ugly because of what I'd seen, heard, experienced.
It comes from what you're told and then you believe, and also from comparing. We can't compare that we're fat until we have something to compare it to. So, it's about comparing.
It is. Comparisonitis, the worst thing you can ever do.
Yeah.
Compare yourself to another. Because who says that they are attractive? Who said, you get to know people and you think, oh gosh, they're not as attractive as I thought. And it's not actually their looks, it's what's going on inside of them.
Yeah, exactly.
The work that they could be doing. So it's the valuing. Incredible. So homework. So let's actually start by saying some I am.
I love having homework every week. That's an awesome idea.
Yeah. And reviewing our beliefs. So going through that, starting with the probably, maybe, not sure.
Catching yourself. And then assessing it.
Giving us the opportunity to reach our human potential that we've locked away for so long. We've got all of us, every single being, living thing on this planet has got amazing, massive, and I know we hear this all the time. We go, oh, I just keep hearing that. But I know it to be true now myself. I wouldn't be sitting doing this normally. Yeah. I can now show up, be vulnerable, say it as it is, from my experiences. And I don't feel any, oh crap, what are people going to think about this or me?
No, because the benefits are amazing, and the uplifting feelings and the creating your best life that comes from this is amazing. And we're proof of this, and we believe it because we see it and we've seen it and we feel it, and it gets addictive. I mean, you just want more and more. So that's why we're sharing.
It is. That's what it gets to. It's addictive. Yeah. Charmaine, I'll let you run through the statements.
Yeah. So the reprogramming that we want to do. So if we've caught ourselves, we've caught ourselves saying these negative beliefs about ourselves. Are we ugly? Is it true? And stuff. Or I'm getting really frustrated right now. So we want to reprogram that. So going on what we did the other weeks, we want to slip into an alpha calm state, because as Karen was saying before, with the yelling at the babies or the loud noises, that's what programs the negative conditioning in the first place, and it's to keep us alive. So that's
before you go on with that, I just, sorry, because you're going to get into it and that's the ending.
yeah.
I just want to reflect on the anytime you are angry about something or feeling uncomfortable about something, it's an opportunity presenting itself. It's bringing your awareness to it. It's like meeting that person in the office that you feel intimidated by, whatever the experience, it's actually presenting itself to you to deal with it. However, and we always say you can go either way. There's no right or wrong. If you believe something, I'll let you actually tell that in your detail, Charmaine, to finish off here. But whatever decision you make is the right decision.
Yeah. And don't be ashamed, I've got angry, or think that getting angry is a bad thing, because anger rises up from some kind of love. Like you're feeling a lack of love, you're feeling a fear of losing love. So that's where arguments start from. So when you feel anger, it's fine. It's coming up to be processed. So you're thinking, where is this anger coming from? Do I feel like I'm going to lose love? It comes from a place of love initially, or all anger. So we want to process that, and let it go. We're undoing it. So to come out of that's that fight or flight frequency that we get on, that we're stressed, and that we may need to run from something to keep ourselves alive. So to reprogram ourselves, we need to slip out of that. So we'll do the breathing. So when we do the breathing, the in, the holding, and then the letting go slowly, and we calm ourselves down, when we get in that calm state, that tells our bodies that we're not in danger. So that's where we can start to reprogram. We can't reprogram in the heightened state. So when we drop into the calm state and your body says, okay, we're not going to get eaten by a lion, we are in a safe space from doing the breathing and dropping into the alpha state, the in for 4, hold for 4, and then let out for as long as you can, calming your vagus nerve. So when you've done that for a while, hand on your heart if you can. We're in a programmable state now. So then this is when we say statements to ourselves. So we're calming down. And is that true? No, it's not, and everything. So we can go through statements now, and we say the I am in this calm state. So we're feeling angry, but that's okay. We can say, I am worthy. I am enough. I am love. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am wise. I am fulfillment and joy. I am peace. And we keep saying these words, and you may not believe them wholeheartedly when you're trying to reprogram from one state to another, but repetitive saying the words with I am will reprogram your thinking, and eventually you will believe this stuff, and you make
Trust
it.
Me, you will.
Yes.
If you're not now, you will.
Yeah. I am worthy.
It is a matter of daily. If I can't emphasize enough, just keep doing it daily and never stop.
Yeah.
Never stop throughout until the day you depart this planet, this physical plane. You just keep working at this, and it becomes fun. You draw different people into your life. There'll be people that will just want to be around you, the energy you bring.
Yeah.
It's really amazing, and things that you want to succeed in.
Yeah. And you can really notice how, because we have a rush of adrenaline and all these chemicals run through our bodies when we feel anger. So if we can catch ourselves, if we can process it quickly and say, yes, I'm angry at this situation, but I am love, and I'm coming from a place of love, and then it won't take sort of days to get over it. You can really quickly reprogram yourself to say, I am love, I am worthy, and quickly change the situation and have your day go in this direction instead of this direction.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It can happen. I think that's about it from us today. I'm feeling like we kind of.
Yeah, actually there was 2 there I missed. There was reinforcing yourself as well. I have everything I need. Say if you're in a stressful situation, you've got no money, then this bill's popped up, another bill's popped up. If you just take a breath and say, I have everything I need, I always have, and I always will. That means that you're doing it on all dimensions, that you're believing that you're safe now, you're reprogramming that you always have been safe, and you're intentioning that you always will be safe and provided for. So what you believe becomes your reality. So whether you think you're something great in this world, or you believe that you'll never be or achieve anything, either way, you're right. So, careful what you're putting out there, programming yourself.
Well done. That's awesome. Thanks, Charmaine. Whew. All right. So you are worth it, remember? I think we'll be changing our show to the C&K TV show. I'm feeling that's where we need to be. The C&K. Can we use those letters together?
Casey.
Casey. And the Sunshine Band. All right. And nobody can make you do anything. That was one of the things that came up. If I was to tell you a joke, Charmaine, would you laugh? Would I make you laugh?
Possibly.
Possibly. So I can't make you laugh. It's just what's going on inside you and how you relate to the joke. I could tell you with a blank face and not, or I can tell you funny. So it's how you're going to interpret it.
Yeah. No one can make you happy. So on the flip side, no one potentially should be able to make you angry. It's in here.
No, that's what's going on inside, and the things that we've seen, experienced, heard, the experiences. Yeah. So we can change them.
Yeah.
Draw the line in the sand and step over and create your own reality.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you, everybody. Superstars you are worth it. And get out there and enjoy this beautiful day. Well, in Brisbane, Vegas, it's a beautiful day. So wherever you are, it doesn't matter what the weather is anyway. Make it a good one.
Shine your light.
Shine your light bright, baby.
Yeah.
Thanks, Miss Charmaine.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you all. Take care. Bye for now. See you next week.